They never notice the moment it starts. That's the first advantage. Attraction doesn't announce itself, it leaks in quietly, through tone, through stillness, through what you don't rush to explain. Most men expose their intent too early. They speak fast, move fast, try to impress, try to be seen, and in doing so, they hand over control before anything begins. You don't. You let silence do the work. You let her mind search for meaning where you've given none. That search is where attachment forms. Women aren't drawn to noise. They're drawn to certainty. Not loud certainty, not forced confidence, but the calm kind that doesn't ask permission. When you enter a space without trying to adjust it, without scanning for approval, something subtle happens. Her attention shifts, not because you demand it, but because you don't. The human mind is wired to investigate what feels complete without explanation. You feel complete. That's the disturbance. You don't chase reactions. You observe them. You let conversations breathe. You answer slowly, not because you're thinking, but because you're not rushed. Time bends around people who don't seem owned by it. And ownership is the core signal here. When a woman senses that you own your internal state, that nothing she does can push you off balance, her nervous system responds before her logic does. She feels safe and challenged at the same time. That contradiction is powerful. Most attraction advice tells men to perform, say this, do that, act confident. But real pull comes from subtraction, not addition. You remove neediness, you remove explanation, you remove the urge to fill gaps. Gaps are magnetic. Gaps invite imagination. And imagination is stronger than anything you could ever present directly. You don't try to be mysterious. That's effort, and effort is visible. You're simply uninterested in overexposing yourself. You let her earn information. Each unanswered question tightens the loop. Each calm response raises your perceived value. Not because you're playing a game, but because you're not playing at all. She starts leaning in emotionally before she realizes she has. She thinks about conversations that didn't finish. She replays your tone, your pauses, the way you looked at her without needing anything. Her mind fills in depth where you left space. And once her mind invests, her emotions follow. This is the part they never teach. Attraction isn't built by what you give, it's built by what you don't. And right now, without touching her, without promising anything, without pushing forward, you're already leading the interaction. Not through force, through control so quiet it feels like gravity. What pulls her closer isn't intensity, it's restraint. Desire grows fastest when it isn't chased. You don't escalate emotionally just because the moment feels good. You don't overinvest just because she smiles. You stay measured, and that restraint rewires the dynamic. She expects momentum. She expects pursuit. When it doesn't arrive, her instincts step in to resolve the imbalance. She starts wondering where she stands. Not because you're distant, but because you're centered. You respond, but you don't react. You listen, but you don't chase validation. That neutrality creates tension. Not anxiety, but curiosity mixed with respect. Her mind begins to test you subtly at first. Small provocations, shifts in tone, moments designed to pull you off axis. And every time you remain steady, the attraction deepens. Consistency is misunderstood. People think it means predictability. It doesn't. It means emotional reliability. You don't swing between hot and cold. You're calm, whether she leans in or pulls back. That calmness sends a clear signal. You're not dependent on outcome. And the moment a woman senses that you don't need the interaction to go a certain way, she feels freer to want you. This is where most men fail. They mistake availability for value. They think being open, expressive, immediately invested will create closeness. Instead, it dissolves polarity. You don't withhold to manipulate, you simply don't give access to your inner world until it's earned. That pacing makes every step feel deliberate. Every exchange feels weighted. Your presence becomes grounding. She notices how conversations with you feel different, slower, sharper, less performative. She feels seen without being consumed, desired without being pressured. That balance disarms defenses. When there's no push, there's no need to resist. When there's no chase, desire has room to grow. You don't mirror her emotions, you anchor them. When she's excited, you don't escalate wildly. When she's uncertain, you don't rush to reassure. You let her experience her feelings without trying to control them. Ironically, that's what gives you control. Emotional leadership isn't about direction, it's about stability. Over time, she associates that stability with you. Her body relaxes in your presence. Her thoughts sharpen. She opens up without realizing why. She tells herself it's comfort, or chemistry, or timing. But underneath, it's simpler. You represent something rare. A man who doesn't leak intention, who doesn't seek permission to exist as he is. And once that association forms, attraction stops being a choice. It becomes a response. Attraction intensifies when she realizes she can't move you. Not because you're rigid, but because your core isn't negotiable. You don't adjust your identity to fit the room. You don't soften your edges to be liked. That immovability creates friction, and friction creates heat. Her attention sharpens the moment she senses that her reactions don't dictate your state. This is where intrigue turns into fixation. The mind hates unanswered questions. When you don't rush to define things, her thoughts start filling the silence. She replays conversations, searches for subtext, looks for signs. Not because you planted confusion, but because you didn't overshare clarity. You let space exist. Space is dangerous. It gives desire somewhere to echo. You don't explain yourself excessively. You don't justify your choices. When you say less, what remains carries more weight. Your words feel intentional, not defensive. That signals authority. Not dominance through force, but dominance through self-trust. She senses that you operate from an internal reference point that's magnetic. Most men reveal everything too early. Their fears, their hopes, their need to be understood. It feels honest, but it's premature. Emotional access without structure feels unstable. You do the opposite. You reveal depth slowly, in layers, aligned with her investment. That pacing creates safety and suspense at the same time, a rare combination. You also don't chase momentum. When energy rises, you don't rush to lock it in. You let moments end cleanly. You leave before interest fades. You don't linger to extract reassurance. That restraint trains her nervous system to associate absence with desire. Not longing born from loss, but anticipation born from respect. Your focus stays grounded in your own direction. She can feel that your life doesn't orbit her attention. You invite her into your world, but you don't pause it for her. That independence reframes the interaction. She isn't being pursued, she's being considered. And being chosen feels far more powerful than being chased. Subtly, she begins adjusting. Her tone softens, her questions deepen. She invests more to see where she stands. The dynamic shifts without conversation. You never demand it. You never label it. You let behavior reveal intent. And because you're not trying to win, you often do. Attraction grows strongest in the presence of calm certainty. Not bravado, not performance. Just a quiet understanding of who you are and where you're going. That certainty becomes the frame, and inside that frame, her desire finds direction. There's a moment when she stops trying to impress you and starts trying to understand you. That shift is subtle, but decisive. It happens when your reactions remain measured while hers fluctuate. You don't mirror her energy blindly. You observe. You respond with intention. That contrast positions you as the emotional constant in the exchange. Stability, when combined with mystery, creates gravity. She feels regulated around you, yet slightly unsettled. Safe, but curious. Your calm doesn't dull the tension, it sharpens it. Because it's not passive calm, it's contained power. The kind that suggests you're capable of intensity, but not ruled by it. You don't reward every display of emotion. You acknowledge, but you don't chase. When she tests boundaries, you don't argue. You simply hold your line. Not with explanation, not with anger, but with silence or a soft redirection. That response communicates self-respect without confrontation, and self-respect is contagious. Attraction deepens when she senses that approval from you is not guaranteed. Not because you withhold it artificially, but because you don't give it cheaply. Your validation has weight because it's selective. When you offer warmth, it feels earned. When you pull back, it feels instructive. The nervous system responds quickly to patterns like that. You allow moments of tension to exist without resolving them immediately. Most people rush to smooth discomfort. You let it breathe. That tells her you're not afraid of emotional pressure. You trust your position, and that trust makes her lean in, not pull away. You're also comfortable letting her lead sometimes, not to surrender control, but to observe how she navigates it. Leadership doesn't mean constant direction. It means knowing when to step back and let dynamics reveal themselves. That discernment signals depth. She starts to feel like she's interacting with someone layered, not reactive. Over time, she begins to align her rhythm with yours. Conversations slow, eye contact lingers, silences feel charged instead of awkward. She's no longer trying to provoke emotion, she's trying to enter your frame. And once someone wants inside your frame, the power dynamic has already shifted. You never announce this shift. You don't mark it with words. You let it settle naturally. Attraction at its core is not created by effort. It's revealed by restraint. And restraint, when grounded in self-knowledge, becomes impossible to ignore. At this stage, attraction stops being about what you do and becomes about what you don't. You don't over-explain. You don't rush outcomes. You don't fill every gap with reassurance. The space you leave behind does the work for you. It gives her mind room to move, to interpret, to project. And the mind, when given partial information, will always complete the picture in the most emotionally charged way. You're deliberate with your attention. When you give it, it's focused. When you withdraw it, it's clean. No passive aggression, no mixed signals. That clarity inside restraint is disarming. She feels the shift immediately. Attention from someone like you feels different because it's not constantly available. It's responsive, not performative. You also stop seeking confirmation of interest. You don't ask where you stand. You don't fish for reassurance. Your certainty is internal. That alone separates you from the majority. People are drawn to those who don't need to be convinced of their own value. Emotionally, you remain grounded. You don't spike highs to create chemistry, and you don't dramatize lows to create connection. You let consistency do the heavy lifting. Over time, she starts to associate you with emotional regulation. Calm becomes attractive when it contrasts with chaos elsewhere in her life. You reveal yourself in controlled layers, not secrecy, but pacing. You share just enough to establish depth. Then you pause. That pause creates anticipation. She senses there's more, but she doesn't feel entitled to it. Curiosity grows where entitlement dies. And importantly, you don't try to be unforgettable. You simply are. Because you're not acting from a need to be seen, you're acting from alignment. When someone encounters that, they feel it before they understand it. Their body reacts first. Thoughts follow later. By now, attraction has shifted from curiosity to investment. She's not just reacting to you anymore. She's tracking you, your patterns, your responses, your absences. Not because you engineered dependence, but because your presence changed her internal state. That's the difference between attention and impact. You didn't chase the connection. You shaped the conditions where it could form naturally. And when attraction is born that way, it doesn't feel fragile. It feels inevitable. Now comes the moment most people ruin everything. They sense the pull, and they rush to lock it in. You don't. You let attraction breathe. You understand that pressure collapses desire, while patience sharpens it. You stay composed, not because you're indifferent, but because you're in control of yourself. You don't escalate through force or persuasion. You allow her to step forward on her own. When she does, it feels like her choice, not your push. That distinction matters more than anything. Desire that feels chosen becomes loyalty. Desire that feels guided becomes resistance. You remain emotionally clean. No guilt, no manipulation, no tests. Your strength is visible precisely because you don't need tactics anymore. The frame is already set. You know who you are, what you allow, and what you walk away from. That clarity creates safety, and safety amplifies attraction when it's paired with strength. At this level, she's not responding to words or gestures. She's responding to the way she feels about herself around you. More grounded, more seen, less rushed. That internal shift is what she can't name but can't ignore either. And because she can't fully explain it, it stays with her. You also understand the final rule. You never make someone the center of your life. Purpose stays first. Direction stays first. When she senses that you have a trajectory that doesn't depend on her approval, attraction stabilizes instead of spiking and crashing. If you followed this correctly, you won't need to convince, chase, or perform. The dynamic will speak for itself. And if she steps into it, it will feel natural. If she doesn't, you let it go without tension. That calm detachment is the last signal of power. If this perspective sharpened the way you see attraction and influence, support the channel by liking the video, leaving a comment with your thoughts, and